Yo, my name is Harrison with Sportside Photography, and this is the last of my Come At It With Me series, USA Edition 2026. Alright, and here we are with the first picture of today's video. And this is the last video of my series, Come At It With Me USA Edition. Right here in New York, just off of Times Square, we have the interesting looking photo that honestly was one of my favorite photos that I did edit in this series and in the state of New York. So you see, first up here, we're getting out a mask, slowly just, once again, like I say in every single Come At It With Me so far, just trying to set out a vision of what I want that final image to look like. So here I'm turning down the shadows, blacks, whites, and exposure. As you can see, this image, I want it to be dark and shady, like how New York is. You know, it's known as Gotham City. So I want most of my photos to be dark and kind of represent what New York is somewhat about. And so here I'm just drawing on the mask, making it around this weird cone thing. To be honest, I have no clue what it even is. But yeah, kind of drawing it around that cone and around the smoke. Here we are. I just cut about 4 minutes of your time having to watch this video. The masking is pretty much done. I think I do a little bit more tweaking, editing of this image, but I don't really remember editing it too much else other than this, you know, masking and just turning down brightness and stuff. So here I tried to use the AI select subject. Clearly it did not work, so we have to go back in with the brush and make the mask myself, which we did see in the last Come At It With Me in San Francisco, where I had to draw the entire Golden Gate Bridge with my masking tool, and far out, it took me a while, but for you guys I shortened it down to about not even a minute. So right here I'm done with that cone thing and just, you know, covering up the smoke. I'll try and find an image of whereabouts this photo was taken. I kind of have an idea of where it was. I took this photo standing in Times Square from what I remember. So it was somewhere around that area, off to one of the side streets. And let me just tell you, Times Square is a very interesting place. My family almost got scammed about 3 times, but you know, I watched a lot, and I still do watch a lot of these scammer videos of people like Tyler Oliveira, and you know, thankfully I knew that there were scams. Like, no, they're bloody scams. And yeah, I had turned up the exposure and contrast of the second mask I made of the cone and smoke, and I'm just, you know, playing around with the shadows, sliders, whites and black sliders. And yeah, there's not much else to this image other than simple darker editing with the main subject being lighter. I did turn down the saturation a little bit, not too much, and yeah, that's pretty much the final image. Righto, and here we are with by far my favorite photo of this New York series, and it's so simple, but it just looks so nice. Even before the editing, it is a nice bloody photo of this traffic light here. And oh gosh, New York City is such a scenic place where almost everything could be a brilliant photo. And you know, if you're trying to visit it, I promise you it is definitely worth it. Minus the smell of weed and the couple tweakers you'll see here and there, it is genuinely a really beautiful place. And out of San Francisco, Anaheim, Hollywood, and New York, by far New York was definitely my favorite place. So right here was a pretty simple image, I do remember, just turning down the brightness, down the exposure. I think I just left the saturation. And I don't know, something about this image is just, I don't know, it's just my favorite photo that I've probably taken of street photography ever. It's just, I don't know, it's just hard to explain. But yeah, as you guys can see, you guys can decide whether you like it or not. But that's pretty much the final image there. And on to the next photo we have here. One of the staples of New York, not necessarily Ray's Pizza, but just pizza in general. And I can promise you, New York pizza is bloody amazing. Oh my goodness. I would pay hundreds of dollars just to have New York pizza again. So right here, I just remember wanting it to be more of a cinematic photo, and I turned up grainage, vignettes, not too much of the exposure, just a little bit, just to try and give it that little bit of an edge to it, make it stand out more as a cinematic looking image compared to a very bright image, because cinematic editing is pretty simple. You just want to have a higher grainage, a higher vignette, and that's pretty much all you need for a cinematic photo. And I think that I did this pretty well right here. And if you're in New York, I definitely would recommend Ray's Pizza. It was actually pretty nice. But yeah, this is the final edit. And just a couple minute walk from the massive Times Square and the massive New York City, we do have Central Park. And this photo right here was taken in Central Park. And as much as I hate birds, I have to admit, this was a bloody good photo. The bird came in at the perfect time, flew right in. I'm like, crap, I need to take this photo. So right here, I'm just masking the bird, just trying to see whether the bird standing out will look good, or just making it blend into the image would look good. I don't think I really use this image anywhere on my TikTok or Insta. And there we go, the masking aspect of this image is done right there. I do remember turning up the brightness and saturation, I think. Oh no. Yeah, saturation. I do remember turning that one up quite a bit. It's pretty high. And yeah, this is once again a simple image, but it's just really cool. And a lot of things in New York are just like this. It's simple, but it's bloody sick there, honestly. I would 100% recommend going to New York. Yeah, here we are, going back in again with the masking brush tool. Every image nearly, I do use this. It takes a while, but you can definitely tell the difference between when you mask up the image and where you have different parts of this image to edit, instead of editing the entire image in its whole entirety. And it definitely shows, even for non-photographers. Like, I've shown them different photos and they're like, wow, I can definitely tell that this one took much longer to edit. And I'm like, yeah, it bloody does. Honestly, editing is a lot harder than taking the photo itself, because you can have all the talent in taking the photo, but you need to know how to edit. And I'm still not that good at editing. I'm still definitely working on it, and I honestly am improving. But that's just the whole journey of a photographer. You learn as you go, and you just grow and grow and grow every photo and every edit that you do. And as you can see, the background masking of this image is done. And after this, it was pretty simple, just playing around with the sliders a little bit, just trying to figure out what looks the best for this image. And I do not remember the final product of this image looking too different from this image right here. And in this next photo, we are right at one of the landmarks in New York City, just underneath the Empire State Building. And honestly, it's not that exciting. I would definitely say that if you're gonna go to New York, Empire State Building, if you can't fit it in, don't do it, because there's a lot of other things in New York that I would recommend to do. So right here, I'm just playing around with a mask, seeing what looks the best. And this edit was pretty simple from what I remember. I didn't change too much about this photo, just made it a lot more dark and a lot more, once again, cinematic. a lot of images in New York should be cinematic. You know, here and then you could have a couple bright ones like that bird photo just before, but that's because of the environment. Because really, you don't know if that's in Central Park, you don't know if that's in a random tree in bloody Japan, right? The environment of a photo definitely matters on how you edit it, and I would say that almost any photo in New York City should be cinematic and dark. And that is pretty much what I've gone for almost every single photo. I think one or maybe two edits that I did, I don't know if they're on this video, but one or two edits weren't that dark. But here I'm adding a second gradient mask and just playing around with the brightness, and yeah, that's the final image. And here we are moving from one landmark to the next. We're right here at the beautiful Statue of Liberty. And this was a pretty simple edit from what I remember. Just once again, making it cinematic. You know, the amount of times I repeat myself in all of these Come Edit With Me videos. But the truth is, editing is one of the most repetitive processes in photography in general. Like, if you're trying to do a completely different edit in a completely different environment, then that will change it, obviously. And right here's the final product. And here we are. That brings us to the end of the Come Edit With Me series 2026 in the United States of America. I really do thank you guys so much for all the support, and thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Please share me around to your mates, and you will be seeing some POV content coming real soon. And let me know what other videos you would like to see. Do you want to see a yearly update on my gear? Do you want to see more Come Edit with me's? Just let me know, and I promise to you I will provide as much as I possibly can. See you later.